Watch who?
Hello.
And welcome to Watch Who, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan.
And I'm new to watching Who.
Watching for the very first time.
Very first time.
And we are back. We are just about to go on stage for the Doscars. So, hello everybody. We should just say though, shouldn't we? So, this is the first recording since we went to the BFI.
It is.
So we should say hello to everyone that we saw there. It was very nice to see people there.
Hello everyone that we saw at the BFI.
Yes, yeah, it was great to chat to people. And we did a little mini episode for our Patreons about that on the day. But yeah, just wanted to say on the on the main feed that it was nice to see people.
Yeah, it was really lovely to see people. And actually the screening itself I enjoyed. So that was a surprise to me too.
It was a shame we sort of had to rush off to get trains and stuff afterwards, so we didn't really get a chance to chat to people. But you said hello to a fair few people, and so did I.
Sorry, we had to dash off. Well, I had to dash off more than anything.
Anyway, we are here. We are all gathered here today, everybody, for the Wilderness Years Doscars. We finally made it through, and we are here to celebrate. And do you know what? I've hired out the actual BFI for this one. Why not? We loved it when we went. So imagine you were all sitting there, everybody, at the BFI for the Doscars ceremony.
Yeah. I mean, we went to we could have had that house, a school.
Okay, fine. We're at Winterbourne House or wherever it is. Sorry, everyone, for the last minute location change. We've got you all taxis to get to Winterbourne House. There is a main road in the background. You'll be able to hear the traffic throughout the whole time. There'll be a great tracking shot of everybody as you walk in, because it is the Wilderness Years Doscars. Welcome. Parking over there to the left of the school. We've got the Autons, who will be our waiters for this evening, handing out all the refreshments. Is Charlie the barman here? Yes, he is. He's there. He's there in the pub around the corner. Ready. I mean, it's just going to be a random amount of people that I'm going to be announcing that's here. But so everybody is here. We've got Kate Lethbridge-Stewart, we've got the Brigadier, we've got the crew of the Tiger Moth, we've got Cavendish, we've got Yetis, Autons, we've got all the doctors from Auton, Dr. Sal, Dr. Palmer and Natasha hand in hand, snogging over there in the corner. Got all the kids from Winterbourne School. Yay! All come back from the summer holidays. And we've also got Liz Shaw and the probe team who will be investigating any strange goings on tonight. So be on your best behaviour. Right, this will be a struggle because you're not going to remember everybody, but let's just get straight into it. And the first award is Best Villain/Monster. And the nominees are Purcell.
Purcell?
He's called Purcell. Purcell, played by Peter Davison, the head teacher from The Devil and the Ghosts of Winterbourne. We have Emerson. You don't know who that is. We never use their real names. So that's Mark Gatiss from Unnatural Selection. We have Christian Purcell. Christian Purcell / Isaac Gretorix from The Devil and Ghosts of Winterbourne. And we also have Winslet from Auton 1, 2 and 3. So there are our baddies. Actually, do you know what? This is the closest to the actual Oscars we'll get, because we are nominating real films this time.
Real films?
Yeah, we're talking about real films. Films like the Doscars, films, straight-to-video films we're talking about tonight. Actually, this is the closest we'll get.
Sorry. Films, Sarah, films.
Films, real films
Throwing
tonight.
your hand at me. Films, Sarah, films.
These are actual films that could have made the actual real Oscars, but no,
and yet,
they're here at the Doscars.
They're here at the Doscars.
Right, so, I mean, good selections. There was some good baddies. Peter Davison was a good baddie.
Yeah.
He did good baddie acting in the end.
He did do some good baddie acting. There was, strong contenders, I think, in this category.
Yeah, and Mark Gatiss, because he was the bum sucky thing in Unnatural Selection with like the no face or no skin or whatever. He did quite well in that. That was a really horrific one. The most horrific one. Christian, who was like the evil kid, he did a lot of evil stuff over in those probes. And Winslet, when he was the baddie Auton, we thought his acting was really great. He did that villain. He sort of was the master, basically, in those stories. We thought they were great.
I found my.
Oh, you got your notes. You got your envelope ready.
I've got my envelope ready.
Sarah, would you like to announce the winner? You don't know. The winner of Best Villain for the Wilderness Years.
Yes, and the winner for Best Villain is Possessed Kid.
Yay! That is Christian Purcell / Isaac Gretorix. It's a complicated one, everyone, if you haven't seen it. From The Devil and Ghosts of Winterborn. Well done.
These are going to be answered in what I wrote them down as.
He was really good because he was that sort of kid that was sort of possessed. Was he the reincarnation of Isaac Gretorix? We don't know. He tied up Reece Shearsmith on the bridge. He then jumped off the bridge. Then he came back as the ghost. It all happened, but he was a really good villain. And it was that thread of those stories as well, which we thought was quite effective. Enough said on that one. Right.
Absolutely.
Next, Best Supporting Character. Favourite of mine. I say it every time. What a bunch we've got this time. It's so funny because there's so many different like genres and different things. It's not like one set series, so they're just so random. So we've got... Who the hell is that I've written? Oh! Andrew Powell from The Devil and Ghosts of Winterborn. I think that's Reece Shearsmith from The Devil and Ghosts of Winterborn, his character.
All right, yeah.
We've got Patricia Haggard from The Zero Imperative, The Devil of Winterborn, Unnatural Selection, and The Ghosts of Winterborn. That is played by Louise Jameson. We have got Barbara Taplow / Margaret Wyndham, the twin sisters from one from The Devil of Winterborn, one from The Ghosts of Winterborn. And we also have Daniel Hinton, who is the kid from Downtime. Oh my god, I'm exhausted already.
I'll tell you what I wrote those as. I wrote those as Louise Jameson, Reece, Daniel, and twins of Taplow.
Yeah, well, that's what they are. That's what they are. A lot of good supporting characters. It was tough to sort of work out who was supporting, who was main, because we didn't have like regulars. So, like, for instance, Liz Shaw was a regular.
We debated a few of those, didn't we? Whether like one should be in one, and we're like, oh no, because of this. And I disagreed with you on some. And...
Let's announce the winner, and then we'll talk about them afterwards for this one.
Yeah, and the winner of Best Supporting Character is Reece.
That is Andrew Powell, played by Reece Shearsmith from The Devil and Ghosts of Winterborn. Yay!
Yay!
There's all the everyone from the school is cheering. They're gonna have a great time tonight.
And a great time.
Well done, and yeah, condolences, Patricia Haggard, Mrs. Taplow.
I thought she was great because she played both characters really well. Quite different characters by the same person.
Okay, can we just address? I don't know why you're so obsessed with Barbara Taplow and Margaret Wyndham, this random woman from these two stories. I mean, I don't think she was the most supporting. I mean, she did help work everything out.
We talked about this. To be a supporting character, you have to move the story along.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. She came in and she was like, my sister was murdered. I want to find out who did it, i.e. my twin.
I don't know if she had the biggest effect. I think this is a...
If she's removed, right, there's no murder, therefore there's no story moving along. And she comes in as her twin sister to try and like solve it and move it along and help. I thought she did a lot. We talked about this. You wanted someone else, and I was like, they did nothing. You wanted Daniel.
Well, he's there.
Yeah, but what did he do?
Daniel Hinton from Downtime, he was the chili. Well, he was supposed to be a chili. He's the one that hacked into the mainframe, and he didn't accept. He wasn't like zombified like everyone else. He was working it out. He helped that tramp get get out of the university, and he was the one you liked, Daniel, because he psychically got the Brigadier involved. Because he was friends with Turlo from school. He psychically got the Brigadier there to help out. And then also he was like,
oh no, wait, no,
psychically...
Daniel did make it. No, Daniel did make it. It's not Daniel I'm thinking of. You wanted Army Guy, was it?
No, you wanted that random army guy from Unnatural Selection, the squat guy who did nothing. Who was just helping out Liz one time.
I'm looking through him. Mark as Ginger.
Mark Gatiss from the Zero Imperative, who you thought was Turlo, but he wasn't. He didn't really do very much.
Yeah, that was it. So that's why we ended up with these four.
Yeah. I mean, Louise Jameson as Patricia Haggard, she's constant. She's in all of the probes. She sort of turns up and it's like, oh, we haven't got any funding, or Liz, you got to do this. That's pretty much all she does. Oh, she has some wine and stays around Liz's house and stuff.
There was one other person with them, and I was like, she'd have fuck all.
Oh, yeah, Linda Lusardi as...
Yeah, she'd have fuck all.
Although my favourite line from Zero Imperative now is Linda Lusardi. So she comes in, I mean, she makes Liz a coffee, has a bit of a chat, but then towards the end, I think everyone... Is it Mark Gatiss that gets killed? Anyway, oh, that was it. The blonde one that snogs Sylvester McCoy. Yeah. She's been interviewed, like they're sort of coming in like the police and interviewed, and the blonde one's going, oh, I can't believe I got involved in all of this and everything. And Linda Lusardi does my favourite line. She goes, oh, don't crucify yourself, love. Don't worry, don't worry about it. That's my favourite line.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Anyway, you're all here tonight, so well done, everybody. Have we announced the winner? Yes, we did. It was Rhys Shearsmith, the one that we haven't talked about. But it was more like his acting was brilliant.
Yeah, he's really strong in that story.
You could tell he would go on to greater things.
Like another Doctor Who spin-off.
He really stood out. He helped. If he hadn't have been in those stories, sort of acting-wise and character-wise, it wouldn't have been as good.
He plays an 18-year-old boy very well.
Yes. Although he looks the same age now.
I don't know what that says about either the story or him.
Yeah. Next up, we have Best Regular, and we have 4 nominees for that. And they are Liz Shaw from The Zero Imperative, The Ghosts of Winterbourne, Unnatural Selection, and The Devil of Winterbourne. We have Lisa Duran from Shakedown. We have the 8th Doctor from the TV movie. And we have a Lockwood from Autumn 1, 2, and 3.
Or as I put, Liz, 8th Doctor, Lockwood, and Captain. I would say Dr. Sarker for the record, but...
Dr. Sal?
I can't read my... Well, I've scribbled it out, so I can't read my writing. I've put Dr. Sarker here, I think.
I think Dr. Sal. I think you mean Dr. Sal. But, I mean, Liz absolutely had to be there.
You wanted Liz there. I wasn't as fussed.
She is the regular. It's her series. She is a great regular.
Yeah, I guess.
Why didn't you want Liz Shaw there?
For me, I just felt like it's the name of a series might be a Liz Shaw series, but it's not a Liz Shaw. It's not the Liz Shaw I know and love.
But you liked her acting, and you thought she was...
Yeah, I know. If you remove that character, the story would still carry on. It's not like some of the other stories where they're imperative to it, you know?
Sure, with Liz, I think Caroline John is a really good actress. And we talked about, like, okay, she's doing these random... I mean, she's got a part in Love Actually in between doing these... Why is she doing these probe things, these straight-to-video things? And the Season 7 Blu-rays come out, and there's a documentary all about her life. And it's so good. And Doctor Who was like her first TV thing. She'd done a lot of theatre stuff, and she went back to do the theatre stuff. And... she wasn't asked back because they got Katie Manning in instead. Because they did, Liz Shaw, the scientist, we talked about it at the time. She was a bit too equal to the Doctor, and in Doctor Who doesn't really work like that. It was just, anyway. And I think she took it quite badly. She thought that she hadn't done that. They didn't think she was very good in it. And so she didn't really want anything to do with Doctor Who for a long time. And she got asked to do, and it's in this documentary, she got asked to do this convention in like the early 90s, so a couple of years before doing the probes. And she wasn't sure about doing it because she didn't want to think about it. She thought she hadn't been very good and everyone didn't like her. And there's the footage of her coming out at the convention, a big convention, and everyone's going mad and clapping her and everything. And that's when she realised, oh, actually, I am appreciated. All those years, like however many years, she thought she wasn't very good, and it didn't, and everyone thought she was terrible in it. And then she got this massive amount of appreciation later on to do it, and that's when she sort of came into the Doctor Who.
I feel, just for me, we love Liz Shaw, and it just doesn't feel like it's a Liz Shaw story.
No, I know. In terms of the writing and stuff, no, but I think the acting is really great. And in that documentary, so there's the brunette Doctor from the Zero Imperative, the first one, and she was the girlfriend in Autumn that got locked in that shed. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
She pops up and she's like, she was great friends with Caroline John, and she's in there talking about it. I'm like, oh my God, that's the girlfriend that got locked in the shed in Autumn. She's talking on this documentary because they were really good friends. Lisa Duran from Shakedown, she was the captain. I thought she was really strong. We really liked that. I mean, you probably don't, it was a long way back, but...
Yeah, no, I remember her.
And obviously, we're talking about Paul McGann as well, the 8th Doctor.
He was great.
Brilliant Doctor. Still is a brilliant Doctor. He's still going on audio. He's done a lot. Oh, this is also something I forgot to mention at the time. In Neighbours, quite a few years ago, they did a special. All the characters had to dress up as their favourite 90s character. And there's a character in it called Mark, who was written as a Doctor Who fan. And he dresses up as Paul McGann from the TV movie, the 90s TV movie. And everyone's like, who are you? And he's like, well, I'm the Doctor. And he's got the wig, and I'll have to post a picture up. He dresses up as Paul McGann, and I was like, that is somebody on Neighbours is a Doctor Who fan.
That's
to
so
do
specific.
That. Yeah, I'll have to send you a picture of that, but I never
is
forget
that. When's that?
That was when it was on Channel 5, so no, that was before Amazon. That was before, a good few years ago now, way back, but there are definitely Doctor Who fans on Neighbours, because there was another episode where he was showing his girlfriend, like the first episode on Earthly Child and stuff. And for a long time in Neighbours, there was a TARDIS on the shelf in the background for where he lived. But then his character moved out, and the TARDIS just stayed on that shelf in that house for years afterwards. And I always used to spot the TARDIS. Anyway, so 8th Doctor has impact, is what I'm trying to say. And then Lockwood you really thought Lockwood was great.
Well, so did you as well.
He was that mysterious sort of Doctor figure for the Auton series.
Very much held the stories along, kept the interest, and he is like, if you removed him, the stories would fall apart.
Yeah, because there's not much else to it really. It's Autons turn up and
for a story called Autons, it's not really about the Autons that much.
It is more about the story of Lockwood. Yeah. Anyway, you look at me like we need to announce this quite soon. So let's do this, everybody. Sorry, everyone.
And the winner of Best Regular is Lockwood.
Hey! I mean, it was tough because we have shunned a Doctor here for Lockwood.
Yeah, but Lockwood did more, we argued, than 8th Doctor.
It's a shame in the TV movie that the 8th Doctor, for an hour, a 90-minute thing, he is only the Doctor for 40 minutes. Because you've got Sylvester McCoy there as well. He just isn't the Doctor long enough, which is a shame. And Lockwood, we love the Autons. Yeah, I mean...
He does a lot. He's really impactful as Lockwood.
It's tough because I would have also said Liz. I mean, great. I think Liz is brilliant.
I think Liz is great. I think it's great acting. But if we're talking about a regular character, if you were to remove that character from the story, I think the Liz stories would carry on.
I understand that, but Lockwood is a worthy winner. Well done,
Yeah.
Lockwood.
For me, it was between Lockwood and Eighth Doctor the most.
Let's move on. I mean, I'm talking through these in a bit of a different order to what we normally do. I might mix it up a little bit and do a different one. Let's do worst moment. Why not? So early on in the evening. Let's
Okay.
get the worst moment out of the way, because I've just written it down next. Now, it's quite easy to find some worst moments because, some of these were a little bit ropey, these productions.
Yeah.
But the 4 worst moments that we have decided are Carol Ann Ford's acting in Shakedown.
It's specific as that. I thought it was her outfits.
No, we said, because you said she was so over the top.
I've got drag queen, which made me think it was the fact she looked like a drag queen rather than her acting.
No, it's her acting, don't you say? Oh dear, we are disputing on stage live. No, it was her acting, because she was so over the top, like a... Because you thought she was a drag queen at first with her acting and everything. Anyway, Carol Ann Ford in Shakedown. Why do you think that's too cruel?
Shakedown, we'll leave it at that. I won't get into specifics.
Well, linked to, then we also have the opening of Downtime with the younger Victoria. The alien outfit in Mindgame. And the Shakespeare section in Mindgame Trilogy. Meaning the Draconian section.
I wrote drag queen, opening of Showtime, gorilla mask, and draconian speech.
Right. Well, okay, so Carol Ann Ford in Shakedown, it's just, I think what it is, compared to Lisa Duran, the captain, who is taking everything very seriously, I felt it was just the over the top. I think it was just pitched differently to everybody else's acting in the whole thing.
Yeah, yes. And I thought, because I think the character was supposed to be a bit over the top, and I thought a lot of the outfit, I think we just I've got drag queen, and I had I'm sure her makeup was quite over the top as well.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Everything was a bit over the top.
Okay, just the over the topness maybe wasn't in.
I'm sure her outfits were really over the top and sparkly. The outfits were very 90s anyway.
Well, what about the opening of Downtime then, where we have younger Victoria going back to the
so painful. Everything about that's painful.
It didn't need that opening. I think we could have just found Victoria as the businesswoman she is in the 90s. We didn't need to have that flashback necessarily.
We did not need that flashback. It was never needed. Do you know what? They could have even just had that scene in a voice. They wouldn't have even needed her presence. They could have just done some sort of eerie walkthrough and a voice, a distant memory. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't think you can create Victoria from the 60s convincingly, unfortunately.
No. I think they could have had the cave that they built and they could have just had a voiceover over the top and it's a memory of this is what was, and then we go to present day. That would have been a workaround. And
then the alien in Mindgame, which was basically the gorilla outfit mask thing. Whereas the problem was, it's all because with these worst moments, it's usually we love the whole thing, but there's one thing that lets it down. That's if only they had just done that. And Mindgame was great. All the other outfits were great, but they just didn't have the imagination.
Really let down at the last minute by that.
Yeah. And it was the mouth thing for me. It was just that's what made it. Even if it looked like some werewolf thing, make it look like a werewolf with eyes and a mouth and everything, rather than.
It was such a letdown because everything else was so strong.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. And then in Mindgame Trilogy, with the 3 stories, the Draconian one where he's just talking to camera about loving Shakespeare, and the Draconians don't like him liking Shakespeare, and he's in love with some. It was just a bit too.
It didn't fit in any way. It was stuck in the middle. Do you know what? The first one completely gripped me in a way I didn't expect. And I never thought I'd say that. And then I was gone. And I never recovered.
I can't believe you said Mindgame Trilogy gripped you.
No, there's a quote neither of us thought we'd say.
No, yeah, it was very tough to get through that Draconian bit. Well, who is the winner of Worst Moment?
Well, that is a good question, Mark. Let's have a look. The winner of Worst Moment is Gorilla mask.
Hey, the alien mask in Mindgame, of course. It's that one thing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he is here tonight. He's doing the DJ set later on with his buttons. He's going to really bring the party later on. So stick around for that, everybody. Alien Mindgame rave later on. We're all going to be up for that one, aren't we?
I mean, that's what I'm living for, Mark. I'm living for that DJ set at the end of the night.
I think we need to go back in a future Doscars. My favourite is still, and I heard about the other day, where you go up in that helicopter and you go to the Seeley's house and they're having a piano party at the people's cottage. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But maybe not for this one. Right.
No. Not the last. Not.
Sure. Let's liven things up.
Anything where I would be needing a helicopter to go to any parties in this whole thing.
Let's do something different now. Then let's do the Clothes Watch Award for best outfit.
Mark's had time to prepare. I'm not prepared.
Well, I think this time it's the 90s. It's the wilderness years. It's a bit different. We'll get them up, but we will hear from the actual contestants themselves as they get up on the catwalk this time.
Mark has been up in his editing skills.
So first up, we've got 3 nominees, and first up on the catwalk, we have got Grace Holloway in her opera dress. I'm all ready for a night at the opera in my lovely green dress. I'm also ready to be on call. I don't care what Brian says. He can keep that sofa. You go, Grace. You go. She's looking fabulous in that outfit. She can run through the hospital. She can go to a night on the opera. She is ready for anything.
I'm leaving this for you. This is for you, love. This is for you.
Okay, next we've got the Master from the TV movie in his ceremonial robes. I want the Doctor's body, but he is not having this outfit. I am ready to take over the Doctor's body in these amazing Time Lord robes.
Oh my gosh, what is happening?
And then we also have the crew of the Tiger Moth from Shakedown in their green sparkly onesie outfits.
I only had 3, but go for it.
Yeah, this is the 3rd one.
I didn't have that as my 3rd.
What did you have?
Liz.
Liz what?
I don't know, I've just got Liz.
I've got the... hang on, sorry, Tiger Moth crew. Hold on a second. We have a technical issue here. What did you... I've put down the green outfits on mine. Let me just check. I've got Clothes Watch. I've got Shakedown green.
I know, hang on, I don't have it down. That's why.
Oh, okay. Sorry, sorry, come on. Mari and everyone, Caroline Ford, come back. So let's hear from you. Let's hear from you, everybody. Well, I'm ready to do my VR engineering, but I didn't realise that everybody else would be wearing these outfits too. Bitch!
Have you enjoyed that, Mark?
Well, that's not bad for it. That's my improvisational skills there.
I thought it was brilliant. I loved it. I really loved the last one. This is what Mark does when he prepares things.
There's our 3. Who has won? I mean, there's a lot of green there. Grace's sort of greeny dress, blue dress, Shakedown green, Masters in black and red. Who do you have as a winner? I mean, I have a winner.
Yeah, I have a winner here, I think.
Oh, okay.
And, well, we'll find out. I'll announce it and then you can tell me if I'm wrong. And the winner of Best Outfit is Grace!
Yay! Grace Holloway. I mean, she did it all in that dress, running down that corridor. You know, doing that.
It's a really iconic, look of a, she's in that outfit, she's coming in. It's really iconic. Especially for, someone that's going to then become a companion.
Yeah.
Moment.
She is.
Yeah.
She is dressed to kill the Doctor. And she did. She can, I don't know, I was going to say something about temporal orbit. I can't think. Something like, she'll spin me into temporal orbit with that dress. No, well done, Grace. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And it really stood out. What an entrance for a companion. Actually, I mean, you did mention Liz. I mean, it was difficult for this because a lot of this, everyone's just in their normal clothes, in Autumn or whatever. There's not really the costumes. We haven't had those big costumes. So that's why I think the TV movie is there more, because it's more, and the spacey ones are there because it's more elaborate. Although in that Liz Shaw documentary, Caroline John, she did smoke a pipe in real life. That's why she's smoking it in.
I'm sure you've told me that before.
Yeah. So I didn't realise she did it in real life. I thought she thought it for the character. Right. How many more have we got left? Everybody is thinking probably.
Mainly Sarah.
Oh, so we've got, because also everybody, I should have explained at the beginning of this Wilderness Years, obviously it's everything that we have been watching for the Wilderness Years. It's also acting as our decade, so we do the All-Stars for the 60s, 70s, 80s. This is also our All-Stars 90s basically as well. So some of the categories are slightly different. So therefore we have couple of the Wilderness Years next. A surprise category, probably, because you're all thinking, who do we have? But there's always a couple, whether they're an actual couple or not. And the couples that we've decided...
form them into a couple.
Yeah, it all started with, I don't know who... well, Barbara and Ganatus were the first couple. And now we have, following in their footsteps, we have Mari and Nikos from Shakedown. That's Sophie Eldred and her boyfriend. We have Lisa and Kurt from Shakedown. They're all getting it on there. They're all getting sexually pair bonded there, aren't they? In that spaceship. We have Natasha and Dr. Palmer. A surprise couple until they just started snogging randomly in Autumn 3. We had no idea. And also Kate Lethbridge-Stewart and Cavendish, who could potentially have been a couple if that demon thing hadn't got in the way.
I'm sure he was hoping so.
He was. I mean, other ones. I mean, we did talk about Dr. Sal and Lockwood. I couldn't tell if there was something going on there or not.
I don't think either of us knew anything in that third episode to know if something was going on or not. So
no, we're all just shocked with Natasha and Dr. Palmer just randomly snogging in the middle.
Still not over it. I'm still not over it.
I think they were just writing it like something else needs to happen here. They snog. It's just like, okay, well. All our couples are here tonight enjoying complimentary food and drinks from Charlie and Edith. Having a great time. Edith mention, everyone. Edith Claxon. Hasn't happened for many a year, I don't think. We haven't had Edith for a long time, but she's still going, everyone. She's still there.
And they're having a Ganatus leg special.
No, Altos' legs. I mean, you could have a Ganatus' leg special if you want. I mean, Ganatus. Well, I suppose you're not too far off. Ganatus has the holes in his trousers.
No, yeah. Altos and Sabina. It's about 9:30 on a Sunday night. I'm starting to lose it a little. I'll be honest.
Sorry, I will announce the winner then. Do you have the winner of best couple?
No.
Okay, well, as chosen by Sarah.
The note was running out of space at this point, so.
I mean, it's a hot competition, but there can only be one winner. The winner of this gets a special holiday package to Southampton. Oh, I was going to say Southampton. Southampton, location of Autumn 3. You get all expenses paid hotel in Southampton. And the winners of that amazing prize, and the Doscar, of course, is Mari and Nikos from Shakedown.
So the only actual couple.
Well done, everyone.
The only reason why they were the only actual couple.
Congratulations on your sexual pair bonding.
Well, who did you want? You wanted someone else, and I was like, absolutely not.
Well, I thought Natasha and Dr. Palmer should have got it. I mean, talk about a couple against the odds. But anyway.
I was like, let's have the ones that are the actual couple.
Anyway, we have 2 amazing awards left. We have the Icon and the Hero. We've saved the best till last. Now, Icon of the season was left down to, we thought we would work out who in terms of actor, has been in the most throughout the Wilderness Years, and therefore they will be the icon. And I'm just got all my bits of paper here because I had to go through and write it all out again. Here we go. Icon.
Like you do this every episode. You lose that piece of paper and have to write it out again.
I know. So,
Your notebook.
I can say that there is a joint winner for Icon of the Season. Do you want to know any runners-up? Or should I just say the... Oh.
We've got a joint winner.
All right. It was very close. I mean, these joint winners...
Say who was runner-up?
Well, there's lots of... So, this joint...
Who was, like, the closest?
Well, there's quite a few.
Well, what do you mean? Like, a load of them had the exact same number of points?
Yeah.
Oh, God, all right then. Go on.
Well, okay, so the joint winners both had 5 appearances each.
Right.
Shall I announce just the ones that had 4 each?
Yeah.
Just so there's 4 actually that had 4. So it was very close. So the runners-up, come and get your complimentary mead from Edith. So we had Peter Davison, had 4 appearances throughout the Wilderness Years. Mark Gatiss had 4 appearances. Louise Jameson did as well. She did her time. And Miles Richardson, who you're probably thinking, who is that?
Yeah.
So he was the Draconian.
Oh, right, yes.
But because he was the captain as well, because he was in Downtime and Deimos Rising as well. So he did actually do 4 in the end. But there can only be 2. Sorry, there can only be an icon. And there's 2 of them this time. And they are very deserving. They have done their time in the Wilderness Years.
One more than everyone else.
These 2 did a lot for their fans in the 90s. They worked so hard, probably mostly for free. Did they get paid in the end or not? Who knows? Do they get their checks from the DVDs? Who knows? Did they bring their own costumes? Probably. Did they ever get travel expenses? Probably not. They really worked hard throughout this whole time, doing all their appearances in the Wilderness Years. All right. You're doing that thing.
Like I am sometimes with you. The Oscars, like, you know when they turn the lights off on the people talking?
Or they bring the music up when they're talking.
I'm going to start bringing music up on you when you Twitter on too much.
No, I'm going to be that person that's like, I've done this so many times before. I'm carrying on. You can't stop me.
Yeah, I know you are. Get on with it.
It's a ceremonial moment. Right.
2 of them.
There's 2 of them, and they're coming up today. And they are Sophie Eldred and Caroline John.
Hey. I'm surprised Reece Shearsmith didn't make that.
Reece, he had 3. He only had 3.
Including the Auton ones?
Yeah. 2 probes and 1 Auton.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
What even so, there we go.
So obviously Liz Shaw, surprise, brilliant returning companion of the 90s.
Yeah.
Well done. And I think she did appreciate coming back and doing that. And I could see why she did it, probably for the fans and just to keep acting and doing stuff. So well done. And Sophie Eldred, she's done a lot. She's been a lot. She does a lot. She loves it. And she was the closest, to when the show finished. So, she was still current, the current companion throughout all of this. So I can see why she wanted to come back and do all of this. Okay, and we are running out of time, everybody. So, because, the school's shutting soon, isn't it? We've got Mrs. Taplow needs to lock up.
Shut a while ago, Mark.
Mrs.
The cleaner's been tapping at the door for 10 minutes.
Sorry. Right, okay, sorry everybody. We're getting on. Right, hero.
You won't listen. Go on.
So next, it's the final. Who is going to join all of our amazing heroes throughout all of this time in Doctor Who, and who's going to be a very unique hero from the Wilderness Years? It's the Sir Ian Chesterton Heroic Moment Award lives on through the 90s. You had 4 nominees.
Yes.
And they were Liz Shaw for saving Andrew from the bridge in The Devil of Winterborne. Grace Holloway, jump-starting the TARDIS into a temporal orbit. Lisa Duran fighting the Sontarans and Routons in Shakedown. The Draconian, Sontaran and Human all working together to defeat the alien in Mindgame.
4 worthy potential winners, but who is the winner, Mark?
Who is the winner? Well, our patrons have voted. There is a clear winner. The winner of the Sir Ian Chesterton Heroic Moment Award Wilderness Years is Grace Holloway, jump-starting the TARDIS into a temporal orbit, which I feel like is probably the best of a random bunch of people. And she's a proper Doctor Who companion in a proper Doctor Who story, so I can see why she got the votes. Are you pleased with that result?
I had actually highlighted Grace as my vote as well, so that would have been mine as well.
I mean, I say we like jump-starting the TARDIS. She did a lot of heroic things throughout that story. So I think it is very well deserved. I think Liz Shaw did quite a bit. Maybe heroic moments. I mean, we do say the sort of average sort of stepping up and doing something, and that is what Grace did. I mean, she was she was at the opera, she was on call, and then suddenly she's saving the universe and stuff. So it's a good definition of it. So yeah. I think
it would either have been that or the 3 when they worked together, because it's like against what they would have normally done.
Yeah, I mean, nobody voted for that one, so I think that's just your choice.
That was my opinion. That's fine.
That was your choice.
That was my choice.
And I can see what you mean by it, though. But I think, Grace being the sort of human character, I think. That's
for sure. No. I agree. Like I would have voted for Grace. I said it would have been that was out. So another ceremony done.
Another ceremony done, and do you know what this means?
We start New Who.
We started new Doctor Who. Everybody has been waiting for it. New Doctor Who. We are only 20 years away from being on TV to talking about it on here.
We are 20 years away.
And when we started, it was like over 50.
I know.
We're catching up.
No. There's like 54 years away.
The Wilderness Years, it was a bit random. And it was tough. So well done for getting through it. I can't believe you've watched more than any Doctor Who fan has actually watched, probably. Well, not any, but a lot.
I was going to say, we haven't done New Who yet, Mark, so no.
But a lot of fans probably wouldn't have seen these, so it's important, I think, to see just the story. If you're looking at the history and in context, just to see what has happened. I think
there's some you hadn't seen.
Yeah, exactly. It's new, some new to me. But I think in the story of Doctor Who, to show what happened and why, it went away, and this is what was the result of it, because nobody cared about it or wanted it to continue, pretty much, or wasn't interested, and then to see it come back, it's part of the story of it coming back as well.
How are we doing the next lot then? Are we doing like
series of series? Yeah.
No. Sorry. So like, are we doing? Because I genuinely can't. I thought that every episode was a story. I'm sure you said that some stories carry over to 2. So we're doing it an episode each, or are we doing stories still?
I think we should do stories. So if it's a 2-part, we do 2 and talk about it. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's what we'll be doing.
Because it's the story. Because it's like what we did in Classic,
Yeah. No. I just wondered, because I thought every episode was a story, but until you said recently that there were some 2 or 3s, I didn't know.
Yeah, there's some multi ones, so we'll do it like that. So yeah, we will start with the new series and a new Doctor and a new everything, and it's going to be really interesting to see how. I mean, this is 20 years old. I think of it as the new series as it's just been made, but I wonder how much it's dated already.
When was the last time you watched the first series?
Oh, it's been a good couple of years. I haven't. Yeah. And for me, going into it, I don't know the new series as much. I don't have that, I haven't watched them I've watched them a lot, but not tons and tons like I have the old ones. So some of them I'm going to be like, are going to be new to me in a way. I'm going to sort of see how I reevaluate them, I think.
Yeah, 20 years on.
20 years on, yeah.
Interesting.
Very, yes. So I know everyone's been waiting. And it's actually pretty much 20 years. So they started in March 2005. It is the anniversary of it.
Well, Mark, we started. It's taken 5 years.
Yeah, it's 5 years.
Started March 2020.
There we are, everybody.
What's my player then?
Yeah, and it's so easy to watch, and they're going to be like 45-minute episodes most of the time. You're going to have a great time with it.
Hopefully.
You will. You will. So, obviously...
on the first series, I have, like, tiny memories of, like, the early stuff. I don't remember watching the first episode or anything like that, but I remember watching an episode of the first season. Like, and I remember watching a Christmas special, but I can't remember if it was like the first one or it might have been the first one with Christopher Eccleston. It could have been David Tennant's. I honestly can't remember.
We'll find out as well as we go. It's still going to be new.
I have like early-ish memories of it being back on TV, and I do remember like watching it on the TV, but like I couldn't tell you what happened in the story or anything like that.
Okay, well, the first episode is called Rose.
Easy.
So find it on iPlayer.
I'll find it.
All our old episodes have dated so bad when we're like, BritBox, is it still... BritBox isn't a thing anymore, is it?
I know. Gone. Good riddance, I say. That was a fucking nightmare, BritBox. Anyone that had to deal with BritBox will know what a nightmare it was.
Thanks, everyone, for listening. We will see you very soon for Rose. Can't believe I'm saying that. It's so weird going to be talking about these new characters. And in the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Blue Sky at 2WatchWho, and you can support us at patreon.com/2WatchWho. We have just done a Patreon-only episode about the Curse of Fatal Death, of all things. So you can find us there. Otherwise, we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
2 Watch Who.